Hi, I'm John Hazzard, and for me it's all about food. And it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and I was kind of feeling, you know, we used to say when I was a boy, we used to say peckish. Peckish meaning a little hungry. But I didn't want to have anything too heavy. So I said, you know, I'll just get something a little light. So I was kind of rummaging through the fridge and I came up with some butternut squash, which needs to be used actually. So I thought I'd make some butternut squash soup for lunch. Just a very light soup, a nice soup. Maybe I make a sandwich. I have some cold cuts inside with some bread. And I have like a soup and a salad, or a soup and a sandwich. So I thought I'd show you how to make a butternut squash soup. Very, very simple. Again, I just want to show you simple things. I don't want to show you anything complicated because I want you to go home and I want you to be able to reproduce this at home very quickly as well too, for you and your family. So basically what I have here are just a few ingredients. I have onion, which we will need, you know, to give a bit of flavor. I also have some garlic, which I had from earlier this morning when I made breakfast, so I didn't peel the fresh one, so I'm going to use some of this garlic as well. And I also have some ginger. I'm going to make a butternut squash and ginger soup. And of course, I love cilantro, so in the soup I'm going to put some cilantro. I'm going to put a little thyme, just to give a hint of that really nice thymish flavor. And I'm going to make this into a butternut squash and coconut soup with ginger. So I also have some coconut milk as well, and of course we're going to finish it off with a bit of cinnamon powder, and I also have some salt which we're going to use to season the soup as well. So let's just get started. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead first and peel this onion, and I want to show you the correct way to peel and to dice the onion. So when we take the top off here, we don't want to take everything off, we want to leave the core in. So I'm just going to take this off as well, just a little bit here. And then we're going to go ahead and peel this onion off. So let's just peel all the skin off. And I have that all well peeled. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to rinse this off. And let's just go ahead and slice it. So to slice it, just to get this membrane off, just put the onion nice and flat. Hope you can see me. Put the knife above the onion with your fingers over the knife. And you're going to go right through the core. And then what we're going to do, we're going to turn the onion on a horizontal way. And I'm going to just make, well, I'm going to just make 2 horizontal cuts across. Turn the onion towards me. I'm just going to make a few vertical cuts. And then I'm going to turn it back in the direction I had it in before. And then I'm going to slice all the way through. And for this here, it doesn't have to be totally perfect because we're going to be pureeing this soup as well. So again, we're going to make some vertical cuts. I just want 2 vertical cuts. Turn it back to me. And then I'm going to make a few, sorry, that was a horizontal cut. I'm going to make a few vertical cuts now. And then we're going to cut this all the way through. So, cutting this all the way through. So that's the onion, which is nice and set. I'm going to transfer that onto a little container. Some little container here. So let's just go ahead and put the onion right in here. And then we're going to work now on our butternut squash. So let's just get that together. Well, we have that first. We have the garlic. The garlic is there, the onions. Let's just work on a little ginger. So what I'm going to do now, with the ginger, what you do, you take the back of your knife and you just scrape the ginger. So I have this container. And we're just going to scrape off the skin. That's what we do. Scrape the skin off. And I've already pre-washed this ginger as well too. So just scraping this all off. Get that all off. So everything is off. What we do now, we're gonna just go ahead and just lightly dice this. So I'm just gonna slice this pretty thin. That's it. And then we're gonna just stack in 2s. That should be good. And we're gonna cut this across and just dice this now. So that's that one. I'm gonna dice this all the way across. Okay, so that's, and then we turn it now. And then we're going to dice all the way across now. So this would be kind of a butternut squash and ginger soup. So that's our ginger. So what we'll do now, let me just find a container to put that ginger in. And I found a nice little bowl here. So let's just put that right in the bowl. So we have our onions finished, we have the garlic is finished, and we have the ginger is also chopped as well. So rest that right there. Let's just clean this bowl, this board up. What we're going to work on next, I'm going to require really my serrated edge knife for this. Let's just see if I can find it. Yep, I have it here. So we're going to go ahead now, and I've already pre-washed this. Cut the skin off of the butternut squash. Just cut all the way through here. Let it stand up. We're going to cut this off as well. And then what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and slice this butternut squash. Let's just slice this all off. You can also peel this with a vegetable peeler as well too. Now, I'm here looking at this carefully because I want to make sure. You see I have my hand, my fingers up here, and the knife and the blade is away from me, because we don't want to get cut. You want to be very safe whenever cooking. So I'm cutting this all the way through. So that's one. That's right there, and then we're going to cut this one now. And again, I'm just taking, I'm using a serrated edge knife to get this skin off. And cutting it very close to the skin because I don't want to take out too much of the flesh, because then it will create wastage. And we don't want to create wastage. We want to use as much as possible of this flesh of the butternut squash in the actual soup. So that's what we want to do. So just giving this a good peel all the way around. Okay, we have that all peeled. I'm going to put this here. As a matter of fact, I have my trash right below me here. Let's just get rid of this. Good, that's good. Then what we do now, we're going to cut this in half. And that's why I have this spoon here. So we have the seeds inside here. So we're just going to go ahead now and take these seeds out. And just take the spoon and come all the way around. Take out all of these seeds. And this should be a nice, I like to eat butternut squash. Today, this morning was sunny, but now it turned out to be kind of a rainy day. So this is a nice soup if you're indoors to have, especially if it's a kind of a rainy day. It kind of warms your body up. So let's just take these out. Okay, so those seeds are out. Now, what we will do now is we're just going to take just put the spoon over here, finish with that. Just going to dice this up now. I just cut this down in 3. And we're going to go ahead and just dice this up. So just cut this in rough chop. Doesn't have to be perfect because again we're going to blend the soup. This is called a puree soup. So we're going to blend the soup. So the chop of the butternut squash does not have to be perfect, because once you blend it, you wouldn't even know how it was diced. So just rough chop. Again, I can turn this over. Now we're going to just make some rough chops through this as well. And just chop this across. Now we're going to continue to chop this all up. Okay, so we have the butternut squash all chopped. Let's find something that we can put this in. So I found a nice little bowl here. So just transfer all of this to the bowl. And I believe we have everything we require now. Good, so what we're going to do now, we are going to head over to the stove. Just clean off this. We're going to head over to the stove and we're going to get our soup going. I already have my pot over here. So we're going to go over here and we're going to start to cook this. So I'm just going to transfer these items across to the stove so we can cook it over here and put everything together on this. We head over to the stove here so we can start to cook, which I'm excited and looking forward to them. And we'll take this over as well too, because we're going to use this over here as well. So I'm also going to need an opener for that can. So I have my opening right here. And let's just get cooking with this butternut squash soup and ginger soup and coconut soup with some cilantro. Okay, let's get started. Just going to light the stove up. Okay, so what we're going to do first, we're going to sweat the aromatics first. By the aromatics, I mean the onions, the garlic, the ginger first. And then after we've done that, we're going to add the butternut squash. So what we're going to do first is to put some butter in here. I'm using butter because butter gives more flavor than if I was using oil. Now, since we are sweating this, I'm just going to let this melt a little bit. Since you're sweating this, we can always add the aromatics into a cool pot because I just want it to be translucent. I don't really want to create any color at all in my vegetables. So I'm going to go ahead now and add the onions right inside here. Just put that over there. And I'm going to add my ginger in here as well too. So it's going to have a nice strong ginger flavor. And I have my garlic here. I love the smell of garlic. You can just add a little bit of garlic because I don't want it to be too much garlic really, because it's really the more pronounced flavors I want to have would be the butternut squash, of course, that's the main flavor. But I also want it to have some ginger. You can taste a bit of ginger coming through as well too. And of course cilantro is something I really enjoy, so you're going to have that as well. What I'm going to do at this stage as well, so I'm going to put some thyme sprigs in here. So just drop some sprigs of thyme in here. And by sprigs of thyme, we don't want to put the stems or anything, we just want to pull off the leaves and have these leaves go into the soup itself. That's what I mean by sprigs of thyme. So putting those inside here as well too. And this is already smelling good. I'm going to just give this a little turn. Oh, that's smelling really good. So again, we just want this to be translucent, just to release the flavor. I'm going to put some of this in here too, some more. And a little bit more thyme inside here would be great as well too. Let's see. And some more thyme. Okay, good. That's good. So while that's also in there, I'm going to give a little stir. Onions becoming nice and translucent. At this stage as well, I'm going to add some of my cilantro leaves because I love cilantro. So I'm just going to pull, I don't really want the stems, I just want the leaves itself. So I'm going to pull these off and drop these in here. And this stage is very important because this is where we release all the flavor into the pot by sweating the aromatics, the onions, the garlic and the ginger. And of course the thyme we added. So this is a very important stage. It's going to release the flavor and get the flavors going until we add the butternut squash, and then of course we're going to add the coconut milk as well. So let's just add some more cilantro because I'm adding this amount of cilantro because I love cilantro. It's really a very flavorful herb, and I love the smell too as well of cilantro. So let's just see where we are. That's looking good. So at this stage now, I'm going to go ahead now and add the butternut squash. Let's just add this in here. Great, wow. We're going to give this a stir. Just stir this around. Oh, it's looking so good. And it smells good too, it smells really good. Get everything all mixed in there nicely. And then now what we can do, I'm going to put some coconut milk in there. Any kind you want to use, I'm just using this brand right here, rolling brand. We're going to just open this up. And of course, some people don't have coconut milk as in the liquid. You can use the powder form by mixing it with some water as well. That will be okay. Great. Then what we're going to do, give another little stir. Smells really good. And what we're going to do now, we're going to take the coconut milk and we're going to pour this in here. Now, what I like to do, I want to save a little bit of this coconut milk for some garnish later. So I'm going to put a little bit in here so we can garnish the soup. just a little bit. I'll save that for later, but then I'm going to pour the remainder in here. And if you have like some vegetable stock, I don't have any, I'm going to use some water. You can also use water as well inside here. So I'm going to put some water in here now. Good. Great, that's my soup. So the butternut squash soup is up and running. I'm going to add a little bit more water, and I think we should be good. So let's add a little bit more water in here. Great. So this is looking good. So we're going to allow this probably just a tidbit more water, and I think I'll be fine. That's great. So what I do, I'm going to dispose this can. Always just want to share a tip with you. Never put the can in the trash like this, because sometimes you might go and grab the trash can and the top is like this and it rubs against the bag or bursts the bag, and then it rubs against your leg probably and give you a really bad scar where you probably have to go get some stitches. I don't want to get any stitches. So what I suggest you do always is just to push this all the way inside like that, and that's safe now. So I'm going to just dispose of this in the trash. So we got our soup on going. What we're going to do now is just, all we have to do now is it's just pretty much a waiting game. So I'm going to allow this here to simmer. Once this is simmered, I'm going to take it across. We're going to blend the soup over right here, and then we're going to blend it. We're going to season it with some salt and of course some cinnamon that I have right here. And I'm also going to blend it with a bit more fresh cilantro as well too. And then we're going to garnish it with a bit of the coconut milk that we left over, and we should have a really dynamic soup. So I'm looking forward to it. So my soup is smelling amazing. I wish you could smell this. So I'm going to turn this stove off, and let's just bring this over. It's smelling so good. So we're going to go ahead and blend this. What I have here is I have a bit of bread, which it's kind of a sesame sourdough bread I made just this past week. I'm going to have a bit of that with some butter, a little butter I'm going to have it with. So we're going to go ahead and blend this soup now. So I'm going to take this here, put it right into my blender. And we're just going to turn this on and get this here going. It smells so good, and I'm looking forward to it. Oh wow, it smells really good. So I think that should be good enough there for now. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little bit of fresh cilantro, because I love cilantro, in here with this. Put it on my blender. And when I get this blending, what I'm going to do, while this is blending, I'm going to go ahead and just cut a little sourdough bread, put in the toaster so it's getting nice and toasted to have with this soup. So let's just turn this on. There we go. I'm going to go and slice my bread. Let's just slice one little piece. You can toast this. Blend it nicely. Looking good. Okay, so that's well blended, and you can go as long as you want. I have a strainer, not a big enough strainer that I'm going to have to invest in one. And we're going to just pour the soup through the strainer and just shake it to get it through. And of course, this is a baby strainer. I need a bigger one. So let's just use this spoon I have here and get this through this little hole. But the soup looks lovely. The soup looks really, really, really delicious. I know you will enjoy this soup. I really do know. Let's go a bit more. Some more of this soup. So because it's a puree soup, you know, I pureed it. It's going to have a bit of the sediment, so I'm going to have to use a bowl. Oh, let's get it through. So if I can't get everything through, I use this bowl to kind of clear it a bit. Put this inside here, and let's just pour a bit more. It's looking really good. So let's just keep straining this. So what you should do, really, don't look at me. You need to just get a bigger strainer. My strainer here is too small. If I had a bigger one, but I'm using what I have at home. So, you know, whatever you have at home, I want you to use stuff so you don't feel like, you know what, you don't have enough equipment. No, I don't have a big enough strainer, but I found this one and I'm using this one. So whatever you have at home, you go ahead and use, because I want you to be able to make these things at home as well. Alright, so we got that through finally. So we're going to go ahead now, just scrape this out. And let's now refill the blender with the last set of soup. Let's just take this all out. Okay, so almost there. My bread just popped up. It smells good. So my bread is ready and my soup is almost ready as well too. Pop that back in there and let's go ahead and blend this up. Let's go again. Oh, that smells good. You just grab my bread. That bread looks delicious. We're going to have that with some butter. Let's get my okay, that's turned off, and that was the last set of my soup. Let's just go ahead now and strain this one off. That one is going through pretty good. Let's just bring this right closer to me. Let's just pass it through. And we're going to keep doing this until we have this entire soup strained. It's going to be really a lovely evening. A really nice evening with this soup. So again, a very simple soup, just basically onions, a little bit of garlic, ginger. I also have thyme in here as well too. Butternut squash, clove in the milk. I didn't have any stock, but you don't have to have stock. I just used regular tap water. And then of course, once it's finished, we're going to blend it. And then we're going to be adding some salt to taste, and we're also going to add some cinnamon as well too, cinnamon powder. And if you want, you know what you could add too? Nutmeg is also great in here as well too, but preferably use the nutmeg seed. Let's just get this all out. Oh, beautiful. So let's now just check the consistency of this soup. I'm going to take my ladle, just rinse it off because I had it taking the original soup out. Oh, this is beautiful. This is gorgeous. Wow, this body looks good. Now, that looks really good. That's the body I have. It may be just a little bit thick. I like to have like a heavy cream consistency. So take this same blender with this liquid here, and you're going to put a little water in here, or if you have stock. And of course, what we will do now, we'll go ahead as well and strain this through here as well too. Great. Let's just check the consistency again. Oh, beautiful. Really nice. Oh, this consistency is really good now. Probably I will add just a little bit more water. Not a lot. Doesn't need a lot now. I think this should be enough now. That's enough liquid inside there. Let's just pop that in there. Pop this over here. Let's just stir this around. Oh, great. What I want to do, I just want to taste a little bit of this. How it normally tastes, I get a cup like this. Put a little bit of that in there. Just take a spoon. Let's just taste it. It's beautiful. We're going to have to season it a bit with a bit of salt. And of course, we're going to need a bit of the cinnamon powder. And then what I'm going to do is to put this back on the range while I clean up here. Get it nice and warm. And we're going to just heat this back up a bit before we actually taste it. That soup is amazing. That is outstanding. Turn this off. Ladle in there. Let's grab a bowl. I got a beautiful black bowl here. We're gonna go ahead now and plate this soup up. This is lovely. Oh wow, that's beautiful. I have a bit of the coconut milk from before. You can always use this as well. Just a little bit of that on top, just to drizzle. And I have a little cilantro. You can put a few leaves if you want. Just dropped in here. Whatever you want to do. Now let's just go ahead and taste this. And of course, I have some great sourdough bread I made. This one is sesame. Put a bit of butter on here. This is nice and crispy as well. And let's just taste this soup with the bread. Delicious. Wow. This is amazing. Look at that crunch of the bread. So wonderful. This is fantastic. I can taste the cilantro coming through well. Coconut milk. The ginger is really just a slight hint of ginger. It's really, really great. I love to put cilantro as well, 2 whole leaves of that into my soup. So when I drink the soup and bite into it, I have that really fragrant cilantro flavor. That's amazing. That is wonderful. That's like an amazing experience I'm having right here in my kitchen. Just a lovely butternut squash, coconut ginger soup with cilantro, some wonderful sourdough bread, and I'm on top of the world. Well, listen, if you've enjoyed this show, just click like, also subscribe, please. And I'm looking forward to cooking with you on another show. Again, I'm John Hazzard, and for me, it's all about food.